Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into something a bit different. It's AI, but with a twist. We're going to see how it connects with Ikigai. You know that Japanese concept of finding your purpose? It's like what gets you out of bed in the morning, what makes life feel, worthwhile.
Yeah, the thing that gives you that spark.
Exactly. And we've got some excerpts from an article by this guy, Kouji Miki. He's like this expert who blends AI and innovation with, get this, Zen philosophy. Sounds kind of wild, right?
It's a pretty unique combo for sure,
Yeah.
but his ideas are super interesting, especially when it comes to Ikigai.
Okay, so less talk, more deep dive. Lay it on us.
Well, Meiki's not just talking the talk, he's actually using all these AI tools himself, like
Yeah.
DeepL for translations, ChatGPT obviously for writing, even HeyGen, those AI avatars that can present in multiple languages.
Hold up, AI avatars,
Yeah.
like giving presentations. Is this real life?
It is, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, really. The point is, he's seen his own productivity go through the roof, like 3 to 5 times more productive.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just like working faster. It's like,
It's about changing how we work entirely. Meiki actually mentions this McKinsey report that predicts AI could automate like half of all current work hours. And this could happen sooner than we think.
whoa, that's a huge shift. Half of all work hours. Who's going to be most affected?
It's going to impact everyone, but especially educators, professionals, creators,
Mm-hmm.
anyone whose work involves a lot of information processing.
So, let's pause here for a sec. Imagine, right, you suddenly have way more free time. What would you even do? Travel, learn a new skill, that dream project you've been putting off.
That's where Ikigai comes into play. Because Miki says this extra time can either lead us to a deeper sense of purpose or more anxiety.
Wait, why anxiety? Having more free time should be a good thing.
Right. It is, if you know what to do with it. But if you're still searching for that sense of purpose, that why behind everything you do, all that free time can feel pretty overwhelming.
I see. So are we saying everyone is capable of finding their Ikigai? Even if AI frees up all this time?
Well, it's tricky. There's like 2 ways to look at Ikigai. The Western view is all about finding that sweet spot.
Mm.
What you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, what you can get paid for. It's about finding your niche, you know.
Okay, that makes sense. But seems kind of tough to figure out. What's the other view?
That's where the traditional Japanese view comes in. It's less about achievements and more about finding joy in the process of living. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's about finding meaning in it.
So like even simple things, just enjoying a cup of tea or something.
Exactly. It's about appreciating those everyday moments. And the way thing is, AI could actually help us do that by giving us the time and space to focus on those things.
AI helping us slow down. Now that's an interesting thought. But okay, how does it all fit together? How do we get from AI doing our work to actually experiencing more joy, more purpose?
Well, Miki has this model, he calls it the golden circle of AI and Ikigai, kind of like a roadmap.
Okay, break it down for me. What's this golden circle all about?
The first part is maximization. This is where AI comes in, boosting our efficiency at work so we can get things done faster.
Right. That's the part we've been talking about. But what happens after that?
Well, then comes the expanding leisure time part. And it's not just empty hours, right? It's the chance to explore, reconnect with things you love, or even try something totally new.
So being intentional about that free time,
Yeah.
using it to, like you said, find more joy and purpose.
Exactly, but it gets even cooler. The next step is effective Ikigai projects. AI can help make your passions even more impactful.
How does that work? Give me an example.
Imagine, say, you love writing novels. AI can help you research, brainstorm, even outline.
Wait, so AI can be like a creative partner?
In a way, yeah. It can handle those tedious parts so you can focus on the fun stuff.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this works. So the final part of this circle.
A richer life. That's the goal. By combining increased productivity, a clear purpose, and the tools to chase it, you get a more fulfilling life.
Now, that sounds like a good deal. The best of both worlds, kinda.
Right. But to see how it plays out, we need real-world examples.
I was just thinking that. Does Miki give any examples of AI actually supporting Ikigai?
He does. He talks about organizing a huge international conference on, of all things, Zen and mindfulness.
Zen. That's not exactly high tech, right?
You'd think so. But he used AI behind the scenes for a ton of stuff. Marketing, scheduling, translations.
So even in a field that's all about slowing down, AI can help.
Exactly. It freed up the team to focus on connecting with each other and creating a richer experience for everyone.
I like that. So it's not just about our passions, it's about creating better experiences in general.
And that brings up another point Miki makes, which is about education.
You mean how we prepare people for a future where AI is doing so much?
Yeah. He says the old way of teaching, focusing on mass production jobs, won't cut it anymore.
Makes sense. If robots are doing those jobs, what skills do we need?
Meiki thinks we need to shift towards helping people discover their ikigai, their unique talents and passions. And this isn't just for young people, it's for everyone.
It's like we need a whole new way of thinking about education, right? One that helps people find their purpose in a world that's constantly changing.
That's the challenge. But it's also a huge opportunity. It really makes you think, how different generations are going to experience this whole AI thing.
Yeah, true. Someone who's like spent their whole life working is going to have a way different perspective than someone just starting out.
For folks nearing retirement, this AI boom could be amazing. Think about it. They can finally go back to those passions they put aside, to build a career. Writing, painting, starting that business they always talked about.
They've got the experience, the wisdom. Now they've got the time, thanks to AI.
Exactly. But then you've got these younger folks entering a workforce where, like, entry-level jobs are already being automated. That's got to be daunting.
It's like the rules of the game changed, but no one told them. Finding their ikigai might be less about hobbies and more about figuring out, like, what skills even matter in this new world.
It's wild, isn't it? Two sides of the same coin. Older generations rediscovering their passions, younger generations trying to define theirs in a world that's totally different.
And that's where education becomes super important, right? Like, how do we prepare people for this?
We talked about Mickey's point about changing the education system, but it goes deeper than just teaching people how to use AI tools.
Right. What good is knowing the tools if you don't know what to do with them?
Exactly. It's about critical thinking, adaptability, lifelong learning. Because things are going to keep changing fast.
It's funny, right? We're talking about this super advanced tech, but the most important skills are still like human skills. Creativity, empathy, that kind of stuff.
Because those are the things AI can't do.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway. It's like AI is pushing us to be more human, to focus on what makes us unique.
It brings us right back to Ikigai. But I think we often get so caught up in like doing stuff, we forget about just being. Being present, being engaged in what we love.
And that's where that Japanese view of Ikigai comes in handy. It's not about some big accomplishment. It's about finding joy in everyday life.
So baking bread, gardening, even just having a good conversation with a friend, those things count.
Absolutely. It's those little moments that make life rich. The question is, how do we cultivate that in a world that's so full of distractions?
Good point. It's like we're constantly bombarded with stuff.
This is where mindfulness comes in, things like meditation. It's no coincidence we're talking about Zen and AI, A lot of folks think mindfulness will be even more important as AI takes over more tasks.
More important. Why is that?
Because we'll have to be more intentional with our time and energy. We'll need to focus, be present, connect with ourselves and others.
So it's not just working less, it's working and living more mindfully.
Exactly. Mindfulness helps us be less reactive, make better decisions, find more joy in each moment.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Not everyone's all excited about AI, right? Some people are worried about jobs, privacy, all that.
Yeah, those are valid concerns. We got to take them seriously. But at the end of the day, AI is a tool.
Like, it can be used for good or bad.
Right. It's like a hammer, You can build with it or you can break stuff. It all depends on the person using it.
So we got to make sure AI is serving us, not the other way around.
100%. And that's where Ikigai comes in. It reminds us that technology should help us live better, more meaningful lives.
I like that. AI isn't replacing us, it's helping us become better.
Maybe even discovering parts of ourselves we didn't know were there. If we use AI wisely in our pursuit of Ikigai, who knows what's possible?
All right, paint me a picture. What's this AI-powered future look like?
Well, for one, I think the 9-to-5 workday is going to become a thing of the past. As AI does more, we're not tied to a desk all day. More flexibility, remote work, maybe even 4-day work weeks.
Now you're speaking my language. More time for travel, hobbies, family.
And I think we'll see way more emphasis on lifelong learning. As tech changes, we got to keep learning new things.
So graduating isn't the end, it's just the beginning.
Exactly. People exploring different careers, passions. It's not about one job for 40 years. It's about constantly evolving, finding new ways to contribute, to find fulfillment.
Sounds amazing, but let's be real, there'll be challenges.
Oh, for sure. Bumps in the road, ethical dilemmas, things we can't even predict right now. But that's what makes this so interesting, isn't it? We're at the beginning of something huge, and we get to shape it.
It's both exciting and kind of scary. But if we approach it with, like, curiosity, compassion, and stay focused on our own ikigai, we could build something really incredible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Maybe this is a good spot to pause and let everything sink in. We've covered a lot, but there's always more to explore.
For sure. So as we wrap up this part, what's your final thought for our listeners?
Think about your own hopes, your fears about the future. Think about your ikigai and how AI fits into all that.
And don't be afraid to dream big. Because in the age of AI, the possibilities are kind of limitless. But before we get too carried away with all the amazing stuff, we got to talk about the potential downsides too. Okay, so let's get real for a minute. AI's got all this potential, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right?
Right. There's a flip side to all this. Mickey actually talks about that in his article. He says all this efficiency, all this free time, it could make people more anxious, especially if they haven't found their ikigai yet.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like if your job is your whole identity and suddenly AI is doing most of it.
You start to question everything. If a robot can do my job, what am I even for?
Yeah, that's a heavy question. So where do we go from there?
I think it goes beyond just individual ikigai. We got to look at the bigger picture, like how do we structure society in a world where work looks totally different? Things like universal basic income, access to education and retraining.
Big questions, for sure. It's not just about figuring out your own purpose. It's about how society adapts as a whole.
And here's the thing. AI is a tool made by humans, right? So it's going to reflect all our stuff, our biases, our values, our limitations. If we want AI to be a good thing, we got to be careful about how we design it, how we use it.
It's like AI is holding up a mirror to us, showing us who we are, warts and all.
Exactly. And sometimes that reflection is pretty inspiring. Sometimes it's kind of scary. So the question is, what can we do about it? How do we make sure AI is used ethically, that everyone benefits?
$1 million question, right?
Well, it starts with awareness, I think. Learning about the potential of AI, but also the risks. Having these kinds of conversations and pushing for policies that, actually put people first.
And maybe taking a page from that traditional Japanese ikigai view, right? Focusing on the simple things, being more mindful, building stronger communities.
Exactly. Because no matter how smart AI gets, it's still our human connections, our values, that'll make or break the future.
That's a powerful way to put it. So, big picture, AI is not some far-off thing anymore. It's here, it's changing stuff, and it's going to keep changing things in ways we can't even imagine.
The choices we make right now will determine what that future looks like, whether it's, a world where everyone benefits or a world where only some people do.
Lots to think about. But I got to say, I'm feeling hopeful. If we can embrace AI's potential while staying true to our values, to our humanity,
we might just be on the cusp of something amazing.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into AI and Ikigai. We hope you found it, hope it sparked some ideas, some new ways of thinking about the future.
And remember, this isn't the end, it's just the beginning. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep searching for what makes your life meaningful.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep diving deep.